Juan-o's world.
My baby mama trippin', she been going through my phone. Tired of me cheating, I can't leave these hoes alone. Hella pics, hella tips on my cash app. It's like, hold up a minute, every time that I'm in it, got the whole room spinning, can't even.
All right, Juan-o.
How you doing?
All right, I'm doing well. I got a few questions for you.
Okay.
Now, one of the questions is, it's a lot of talk saying that you like to play the 50.
The 50?
So if you could elaborate of why people are saying you like to play the 50.
I'm not sure why people think I like to play the 50. I'm pretty clear on what I think is okay and what I don't think is okay. Now, where this came up at was I didn't just diss certain people that others may feel like should have been dissed. That's not to say I agree with what they did. I just didn't feel like I had to just crush their life.
Okay, well, why you feel the need of not wanting to crush their life? Like, you got to speak the truth, right? So
Yeah. Look, you do have to speak the truth. I do have to report the story. But that don't mean I necessarily have to destroy somebody. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It may be true that you stole out of your mother's purse. But isn't me calling you a horrible motherfucker good enough? Do I have to specify you stole your mother's flat screen TV?
Well, true, but
Now I can see if it came to a credit check, like someone personally came to me to ask me about someone's character, then I would specify like, yo, this motherfucker did X, Y, and Z. But when it comes to using my platform to totally squash the life out of somebody, that's something I would like to reserve for people who 100% deserve it. You know, like folks that touch kids or might have took a lady's cookies, Look, I was trying to reserve those matters for things of that nature.
okay, understood.
Not to mention, I gotta add this. My channel, like I've made a lot of mistakes in life. So my channel, I ain't made none of the mistakes these other niggas made, you know what I'm saying? But I made my own version of mistakes. So for me to be able to turn my life around and do differently and be a better person and so on and so forth, it's hypocritical for me to just squash the life out of somebody because they did some hoe shit. Now, I ain't never did no hoe shit. You know what I'm saying? Hoe shit is not of my kind. But I have did some shit that can be looked at as bad. I have did some foul shit. I've did some wrong shit. I've did some bullshit. I've done some shits. I might have left out some shits. You know what I'm saying? But as far as some of these activities that I have defended people for on the internet, I ain't never did none of the shit that they doing. But I never had an image to try to live up to. So I kind of empathize with how some of these people may get lost with that image or perception of being famous and how people look at them, although it may be fake.
Okay, so basically, you leaving room for somebody to probably redeem themselves, like they made a mistake, and so I'm not gonna downplay them or crush them or belittle them because they made one bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
A bad decision.
Now we could talk about what you done. Like it's some people that have been accused of snitching. It's some people that have been messy. It's some people that have been, all type of things. And I've been able to call them out for that specifically, even giving them nicknames. I gave a lot of nicknames without me necessarily destroying somebody's life.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do that.
We spent enough time on that.
On playing the 50?
Yeah, playing the 50. All right. So, there's a lot of talk on the internet about Al Nuclear.
All right. I gave him that name, by the way.
Who is now Al Nuclear now?
Al Nuclear, man. Al Nuke is an old back in the day Detroit rapper from like '96 to about 2000, 2002. He made but he got off into the movies.
Oh, okay.
So he made. He was like the first Tubi movie maker. Before Tubi, he was before Tubi.
Before Tubi.
Before Tubi, he was BT.
All right.
Al Nuclear.
What made you give him the name Al Nuclear, though?
Man, this nigga went to the internet and set off a nuclear bomb. You know, right after the whole Messy Jesse scandal that I was trying my hardest to sweep under the rug and help the Detroit OGs to learn about the YouTube streets because they live on Instagram, you feel me? And whatever, we're not even going to get into the difference between Instagram and YouTube, but nonetheless, they live on Instagram. So I was trying to explain to them that how things work because they was mad about Messy Jesse and things like that. And then bam, in comes Al Nuclear, man. And he goes at Dogface. But he don't just go at Dog. It'd have been cool if he just went at Dogface, like, you know, like rolled by his block on the YouTube streets and sprayed up his block, you know, because we do that on the YouTube streets. That'd have been cool, but he ain't do that. He snitched on that nigga. He got his whole block shut down. All 70,000 of his customers gone. That was some bullshit.
Okay, so Al Nuclear didn't raise
fucked
some eyebrows on some people.
Yeah, he fucked up, and that's that's why I nicknamed him Al Nuclear. You know what I'm saying? Because what people forget, what created Shredder and the Ninja Turtles was that nuclear shit, that nuclear juice, and man, he done turned Dogface into Master Shredder and shit. No. Unknowingly, I tried to warn the nigga. But then he went further than that. The nigga called his wife, told him that he got bitches. The nigga, he did a lot of shit he wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to call wife in.
Nah, he wasn't supposed to do that.
Can't play with somebody's family, nah.
He went further than that. Nah. Like a good cheating father, Dogface family got their own setup.
A good cheating father.
He took care of home. I'm just saying. The nigga took care of home. They got a nice house. Separate from Dogface.
I never heard anybody use that in the same sentence, but okay.
We got to identify here. You know, shit, they got 8 different genders. They can have a couple different fathers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. So we don't want to get lost in the story. And then I had to investigate all of this because Al Nuke sent me on the investigation. Nigga told me that he was better than Bird and the Midnight Falcons.
Oh, no.
And the Temptations rolled all together in one. I don't know, but we had to see. And we saw. And this nigga played me for a fool. But nonetheless, back to the story. Not only did he call his wife, he exposed where the wife and the kids live. Showed their house. It was like, you could see 2 of the numbers in the address.
Wow.
And Dogface, you know, how can I say this? Being a Detroit YouTuber is different than being a YouTuber from other places. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a nigga like Dogface. You know, like how people run up on me in the streets about my opinions and shit, or telling me people I'm supposed to defend or whatever. They run up on Dogface a whole nother different kind of way. So to expose where his family is at was like kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? He beefing with $100 million niggas and shit.
Oh, true. Well, why do you like defending people?
That's a damn good question. You know what? I didn't look at it as me defending people until I was defending Al Nuke. At first, it was like me just offering a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? But when I went to try, and I wasn't defending Al Nuke, but by me being the only person that talked to him, I was kind of telling people what he had to say as opposed to their questions, because he didn't want me to put the interview out.
Okay.
So I was just kind of telling people what he said from our phone conversation. And it seemed like a defense or explanation. And it got to a point where it's like, those things, some of the shit he did before, it's like whatever. But when he got to shutting the nigga's page down, or when he got to calling the nigga's wife, and what I left out is Dogface wife does taxes. She got this nigga out of tax debt and tax trouble, and got his house out of forbearance. Now, Al Nuke told me to have my people investigate the story. So when I have my people investigate the story, what I end up finding out is Al Nuke had, which I've done this before, but I had the money. Al Nuke inflated his income to buy a house in foreclosure on the outskirts of an exclusive neighborhood. You feel me?
Okay.
Bam. But what he didn't do is change his paperwork back after to reflect his real income. So when he went to file his taxes, or maybe he didn't file his taxes and they came back to him a little bit later, he ended up being on the hook for the extra income he lied and said he made.
Okay.
You understand? So on top of the fact he already had tax trouble. So she was able to save his house out of forbearance and get him a settlement so he could sell the house. She looked out. And it's like, then I find out that Al Nuke got a daughter that rap. And guess who put out her songs? Guess who put her? They was the first city girls.
I don't know who that could be.
Their name was Pretty Blue. I put their shit out in the yes. The city girls in them, it was one girl that was already rapping, right? And she was signed to Dogface. Dogface met Al Nuke's daughter, who could really rap, put her in the group with the other chick, and they was talking that city girl shit in 2019. Now the city girls, they neck and neck as far as the time that they came out. But Al Nuke's daughter and the other chick, the Pretty Blue, they a better group. But from my understanding, somebody player hated on that too. But and this is what I'm saying. So I could tell you who fucked up the group, but I'm not gonna do that, because then now I'm hurting a couple people's feelings unnecessarily. And I feel like I can make the point without doing the extra damage, because all the damage has already been done.
Well, yeah, that sounds like all the damage has been done.
The damage been done, because now you talk. Now imagine how them girls felt watching the city girls.
Yeah, I'm sure they.
You know what I'm saying?
Was pretty sad about that one.
And girls sad. Two girls sad. They was
serious. Yeah, they was serious. I tried to downplay it, but
come on, man. That's why niggas don't understand women trying to downplay the shit that really count. You know, and something like that would have been a real.
They probably wanted to be known that they were pissed. So I'm not gonna downplay it.
Come on, yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next question, which is: has any of the OGs that you have met and tried or helped showed you love?
Wow. I guess that what we would classify as love would come into play there. What I will say is all of them gave me their time. Al Nuke tried to use me though. I don't mind being useful. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. I love to be useful. I don't want to be misused. He tried to straight use me because he called me. And mind you, Al Nuke's a 6 Mile nigga. East 6 Mile. He's an East 6 Mile nigga, but nonetheless a 6 Mile nigga. So I owed it to extend him a courtesy. And no matter what he said to me, I wasn't going to try to destroy him. Long as we had the understanding that you can't be threatening YouTubes, bro. You can't be snitching on the YouTube streets. Long as we had that understanding, it was all good. You know what I'm saying? Now he wanted to, I got to figure out why my volume wrong on there. He wanted to snitch on people on the YouTube streets.
Okay, and that sounds like a big no-no.
That's the extreme. No. He got a bunch of people. He got a bunch of people to get dog face Instagram and his Facebook shut down. You know, that was
Yeah, that wasn't the way to go or way to handle that one.
Mm-mm. And then
Now, do you think people understand the importance of YouTubers and what you guys are building?
no, motherfuckers would rather the guarding dies or we have to keep going outside of Detroit than for us to have our own proper platforms. You know, people care about protecting images that they didn't deserve in the first place. People care more about protecting lives, like that whole Messy Jesse shit. All of us YouTubers came together to make sure that real authentic story didn't get outside of Detroit. And motherfuckers was mad at us. And the reason Jesse James would do something like that is because everybody fronting like they got it so much better than him. So he's looking at it like, yo, all these niggas getting money off of rapping about their story, making movies about their story. Fuck it, let me tell my story. Let me get my check. But the truth of the matter is, don't nobody got it how they make it seem like they got it. Now this is me again, where I'm showing grace, because throughout this investigation Al Nuclear sent me on, I found out a lot of shit I didn't want to know. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. But that's why Jesse did that, you know. But even with the Jesse James thing, I nicknamed him Messy Jesse, but he can use that to have his own YouTube page, which is really all he wanted anyway, to get the money off the stories and reacting to shit. He very comical. So I'm gonna show him how to set up his own YouTube page and Messy Jesse reactions. And then his name already in the algorithm because one of my biggest videos was calling him Messy Jesse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Messy Jesse must have been messy.
He was man, it don't get no more messy. It don't, but you know how it is, man. When you walking around holding a bag full of skeletons, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that shit get heavy on you. That's why you gotta watch what you doing, what you get involved with. You know, and that's that. You got any more questions for a player?
We're gonna conclude this.
Conclude. Okay, bet. So now you know what the 50 is.
I know
right?
what the 50 is,
Okay,
yes. And I know who L Nuclear is. Messy Jesse.
You know who Messy Jesse is?
Yep, I know who Messy Jesse is.
Okay. Messy Jesse been messy, but we out.